Hello everyone, my name is Jamil Ismail Mobai. I'm the CEO of Clip Media Enterprise and a freelance journalist with BBC Africa Eye. Today we'll be discussing interesting issue with a special guest, but I will allow him to do the introduction. So can we know who you are? Can you tell our guest?
My pleasure for having me. My name is Abubakar Mustafa, Abubakar, the director of Beacon English Academy, a center that teaches fine grained English to various students in Nigeria. At the same time, I'm a sociologist, a psychologist, a criminologist, a freelance journalist, a social consultant, and academic consultant, and an English instructor.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a brief about me.
All right. I know a lot of people will be surprised. You understand? The way you speak is different from the way I do.
Your English is bad. It's not bad. It's, you speak a possibly good English as well.
And I wish, one day I'll get to talk the way you do. And so tell us a little bit of background. How do you, get to attain
come up with this
proficiency
Beacon
like this?
Well,
Before we go into Beacon,
okay, Beacon first.
Yourself.
Well,
tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, we don't usually want to tell listeners that one must go to the United Kingdom or to the United States before he or she, gets his accent. There are a lot of students we have that what basically we ask them to do is, they have to become a great listener. A great listener is indeed a great speaker. Likewise, a great reader is indeed a great writer. So we usually ask them to, be watching the likes of the BBC, CNN, TRT World, Deutsche Welle, that's DW, etc., so that they improve their fluency and they grab the accent naturally. At the same time, they have to go to centers like ours. You have to be a Beacon first because you're going to learn the phonetics and phonology, how words are pronounced, and at the same time, the usage of intonation, resonant, falling, elegant, weak kind of strong forms, things like that. That's why we find it very difficult. In fact, practice makes perfect.
All right, before we go deep, let me just, since you've started talking about the Beacon, tell us a bit about Beacon. Why, what does Beacon do?
Well, lots enormous things that we can't actually. It's just a center, as I told you earlier on, that teaches fine-grained English program to various students in Nigeria, both from primary up to master's student. In fact, even PhD, Doctor of Philosophy from university. We polish their English, understand, within the circle of grammatical aspect, everyday English, that's incorrect expressions that we use on a daily basis in Nigeria. Been talking to many radio stations in Nigeria, in Kano, in Katsina, and the likes, even in Abuja. So those dangers or those consequences or problems could easily be addressed if one joins Beacon English. Actually, Beacon is unique. The uniqueness is amazing. We're not just trying to kill our listeners, with our sugar-coated tongue. I don't want to be talking as if a parrot is reciting a Shakespeare. But this is the truth behind the success. If you join BEA, that's Beacon English Academy, your fluency, the maturity of English is going to be full of color, and it's going to add a flavor and an ingredient to your speech.
So are you trying to tell me if I join Beacon, at the end of my stay at Beacon, I will get to talk maybe like you? Or
we have many students
native speakers.
Well, it's about interest. When you have interest and you have that naturality in you, I can tell you that you can speak even better than I, because we have many students that the part and parcel of Beacon, they are students of Beacon. And when they speak, people give them a second look. Some of them, they have American accent, and some of them, they have British accent. Sometimes it's tongue, even if you're going to find yourself in the heart of London, you may not change your tongue, but the grammar must be there.
So what do you do? What's so special? How do you, impact the knowledge into the students? How do you do that? Because some must have gone through the primary schools, good universities. They're working in good,
exactly.
They have good professions, but they end up not, attaining that proficiency. So what does it take to attain proficiency?
Well, it takes a very short time or long time. It depends with the academic brilliance. And, at Beacon, we have a sound system which we give to our students. and it's mandatory because we force them under duress. We put pressure on them. Because of the strong charter, we have rules and regulations that nobody violates, and it's in action, right? Because if you are a lazy student, you cannot join Beacon English Academy, because we do business and we mean business. If one joins, he or she, grabs the knowledge hands down. Because of if one is 15 minutes late, if it's 500, if he's 1 day absent, 1,000, if you're 2 days absent, you've dismissed yourself automatically, except if you give us a call prior to the time. You inform us the exact why are you going to be late or something like that. So if you could see this now, the uniqueness is wide, because not all schools have such kind of a system. Because what we say, is in reality. We are realist. We aren't exactly. So it's just, students that are there, they can tell you both in Kano and in Katsina, because.
So for our audience probably watching this, the proficiency attainment, is it both oral proficiency and written proficiency?
Well, perfect. As a list of nice question, I think both, because we want them to become versatile. Yeah, because let me just give you first in the grammar aspect, we teach them concord, the agreement between subject and the verb. You understand? And we teach them collocations, because many students they use English wrongly because of the poor arrangement of their collocational aspect. Yes, let me just give an insight. It's common or ubiquitous to learners. Someone says that she wants to go, instead of putting the S there, she wants. So we teach them tenses seriously, the usage of part of speech, not the definition of part of speech. And when you go to everyday English, this is something which everybody needs in Nigeria, because almost everyone needs that. You may say, I will see you upper week instead of the week after next, because that is in English. And one says, I'm sorry, I'm late because of go slow instead of traffic jam or hold up in the United States of America. Because go slow simply means walk to rule. Peaceful demonstration workers engage themselves in it. In America, they call it go slow. Walk to rule. In the United Kingdom, they call it go slow. Meaning it has a meaning, but it has nothing to do with the traffic, right? And the one goes to market and says, please, what is the last price instead of bottom line? In America, they say final offer. Understand? So all these incorrect versions of English, we have them about getting to 500 in number at Beacon English Academy. We give you the wrong versions and the right versions. At the same time, we train you and coach you to know the dichotomy between British English and American English in terms of vocabulary, spelling, because in America, for example, instead of car, they say automobile. You understand? Instead of mobile phone in America, they say cellular phone or cell phone. So we just want you to have an insight, because they both understand themselves. And apart from everyday English, we have phonetics and phonology. That's, pronunciation, oral English. You see somebody says luxury, Luxury, instead of luxury. Understand? And someone says a procedure instead of procedure, because it's not procedure, it's procedure. Someone say, entrepreneur instead of entrepreneur. This is how the words are pronounced. That's why when you watch the BBC or CNN or the likes, you hardly understand what they say. Because since during your primary and in things like that, your teacher never speaks English like that. That's why it is very strange. Many people assume that they don't speak English. And that's what, and these are the only pronunciation. When I go deep into it, that's the allegiance, intonation, things like that. You may not understand what basically.
So, all right, now Beacon has been in Katsina for how many years?
For about 2 years now.
Okay.
Yes, I think when we started, unfortunately, we found us out, coronavirus, COVID-19, when the city, all the cities were shut down.
All right. And this state, Katsina, is blessed with a lot of people, especially, now that, it's a town that gives priority to education.
Exactly.
You understand? And with the advent of social media, a lot of them are on social media, but sometimes they find it very hard to express their feelings, to pass their message across, So their growth in life, is limited because of the language deficiency.
Exactly. Exactly.
How can Beacon be of help to them?
That is a panacea. The panacea, the hard way, is the only way. Join BEA. Come to Beacon English Academy. The secret is beneath there. If one joins that, he is going to get everything easily, because not only Casinanian, northern enclaves, especially in the northwest, right? Kano, Kasina, Kaduna, Zamfara, Sokoto, etc. Because we are familiar with the language. Hausa everywhere we go. In cinema, Hausa. In football field, Hausa, stadium, Hausa. When one goes to mosque, Hausa, in office, Hausa, home, Hausa. So that's why it's becoming a little bit crazy and tough. People, find the language, difficult. If one joins Beacon, within a year or I think 1 year, 3 months maximum, he finishes. So and you're going to see wonders, because we don't just want to tell the world our secret behind our success, what kind of methodology, but we have it in when we train you, provided you have an interest, because there are some students that can join but they don't have interest first and confidence, then the remaining you leave for us to pass on.
Lastly, how, because of the ego and the self-esteem, what structures have you put in place to make sure that students feel safe, feel at home, so that no matter the mistakes they make, they will always want to come back because of that friendly environment Beacon has?
Well, actually, I believe that this issue of ego and super ego, whatever, is something, I think this Sigmund Freud theory, psychoanalytic theory, everybody has it. And, one might feel that I'm going to be isolated. I'm going to be detached. When one joins, he becomes a friend, right? And we show him that this is a second language. It's just English, and it's just language. You have to put pressure, practice, practice, practice. And when one makes a mistake, we correct the person, and we give them, practical aspects, because they take part, not only theoretical part, but also practical part with us. Because sometimes we take them to radio stations, we take them to workshops and seminars, we give them topics to present, because language is all about speaking. If you don't speak, that's bullshit. You can't do anything about it. So actually, when they come, we show them that friend, and we open usually a group where we link them, we communicate online, even their home, and we give them assignment and work. Understand, and we also ask them to put pressure on the practical aspect. So nobody feels isolated when he joins Beacon. Everybody feels at home. Yeah, because it's a place that is, user friendly. The friend, is everybody is a friend. All the teachers are friends to students, and students, they find it. We give them courage, right? That nothing is impossible. Bonifatius says the word impossible doesn't exist in my dictionary. It exists only in the dictionary of fools. So we usually give them the word of advice, and how can they, to galvanize them, to juice them, so that one day they're going to conquer their pressure, and they are going to be among the champions, not only in Nigeria, but around the world.
All right, practice, practice, practice makes perfect. You've heard it from the horse's mouth and the director of Beacon Academy here in Katsina. It's school specifically designed to teach students how to attain oral and written proficiency in English language, so that their students can be able to speak just like the native speakers of the language. I'll be joining the school. My name is Jamil Mobai. See you next week.